are back. Sunday fun day. So, if you remember where we left off a couple weeks ago, I had gotten the rear panel in, and I'd started making up a piece in the corner. Still got to make a piece for there. We got to deal with this situation. But, see now I just got back from my holidays, and I'm a little, still a little lazy. I'm going to finish, because it's driving me nuts, I'm going to finish welding up all this quarter in here. I remember I was just spotting it along, spot cool, that's what I'm doing, then we don't get any kind of, you know, I mean, I don't know if you can hear my hand there, but it's level, that's what we want. And if anything, I always say this, if you don't get it level, remember, it's better to have it a little lower than higher, because if it's higher, you're either body filling the whole quarter panel to match, or you're tapping it in, which then could create some oil canning. So if anything, don't ever feel bad if it's a little bit low, because a little bit of low just means a light skim of putty. No matter what, you're going to put a light skim of putty on it anyway. So there you go. So I'm going to continue with welding that up and get that done. And we'll see where we go from there. It's a Sunday and it's 10 a.m. and I've got till 5 with a 1-hour lunch break in there. So again, we got a 6-hour day here. So let's hit it and let's see how far we can get. sometimes it just gets a little, I'm trying to rub my hand there, some of these welds got some sharp tips on them, so I'm just knocking them down, smooth them out later. That's all that's going on right now, not much to see there. We are slowly getting there, slowly. Got it all welded up through here, working my way in the back here, little bits at a time. We're doing good. Can't believe how long it takes, but it takes a while. I got a little bored. There with welding, so I stopped and I actually came in here and I ground down the weld that was there. I ground down the one that was there, and the one that was across here I ground it down. Got a little bored. How that happened was I was grinding down. You can see where I still got to go, long ways. You can see where I've done. So I came in here and I always, like I say, I grind it down in there too. And believe it or not, if I spray that with a texture spray, I don't even need to putty that. If I don't want someone to see, like sometimes if you want someone to know you didn't weld nothing there, you're going to putty and Bondo over that. It's so smooth there after I grind it down, even though it don't look like it, it is. I just do a little texture spray on there and you'll never know. I mean, if someone gets in there and studies it, they'll know, but you know what I'm getting at. But anyway, so I started grinding there and I was like, oh fuck, I don't want to weld no more. So I got onto this. Anyway, yeah. I'll tell you, take a week off and you come back to it. It's something different. But with that being said, I actually got home Wednesday late night and I worked Thursday, Friday. I actually did work. Yeah, it was busy. I just went to work, and here we are on Sunday now, hitting it again at the car, and everything went back to normal. I was at the gym this morning. Was at the gym yesterday. Back at the gym, back working. It's like I wasn't even gone away. That sucks. Anyway, back at it. Okay, we are done. It's all welded up and ground down. Could have cleaned up a little bit more with the grinder, but it's done. It's looking good. You know, I'm happy with it. There's one little low spot back in here. Right here, there's a little low spot. I don't know what happened there, but I might try and tap that with a hammer and a dolly. But that's about it. She's done. Now what I'm thinking here, before I move on to the trunk, I'm just thinking out loud. If you all remember, I talked about the body, the door gaps on here. And this gap is like the other side. It's nice all the way down. It's nice. Where are we gonna go here? But this one's not as bad. It's just right in here a bit. You can see how it's getting tight there. See, then it opens up. See, then it opens up, stays the same. So I think what I'm going to do is run my tape line on here. I run a piece of tape, run my grinder wheel there, cut it, just the thickness of the grinding stone, tap, not the door, I'm tapping in the quarter there until I get that same gap. Now honestly, could you leave this? You could leave this all day long. It's not hitting, it's far from hitting, I could leave it. Most of my cars I would just leave it, but I guess I'm getting a little bit fussier with this car. I don't know why, I just am. I'm not taking it to that show car level like I say. I mean, you'll take it to car shows, but I'm not going to that, like, as I always say, white glove Barrett Jackson level. I'm going to like just a beautiful car when someone walks up to it and looks and they'll be like, wow, the lines and gaps are really nice on that car. That's what I want to do. So, and if you remember, like I said, we did do this one. And I'm over on the quarter right now. I had done this one, you can see. Well, maybe it can't. All the different colors throw you off when you're looking, but trust me, it's all even. So, I think I'm going to do that, just because if I do that now, I'm done with the whole side of the car. Then I can start fucking with the trunk some more, right? I'd just like to know that that's over with. And then we're going to have our, we're going to finish off our trunk. And then I'm still thinking whether I'm keeping this little piece or not. I'm going to leave the license plate there, or am I going to put a riser on the back bumper, move the license plate there? I don't know yet. I like that piece. It's Art Deco. And the thing is too, is that I've had a lot of these shoe boxes in the years, long before I was filming and doing that. I probably owned a dozen of these or more, believe it or not. And on every one of them, I shaved that off. So kind of part of me right now is kind of like, leave that on there. You've taken off every other one, just leave that on there. So I might do that. I don't know. I gotta get the bumper situated back on here. I gotta put the bumper on and bring out a couple different risers I've got. and leave that and keep the lid closed and see what I'm liking better. And of course you guys will be you guys will be all a part of that, because I'll film it as I'm doing it. But that ain't today, of course, because I'll be lucky if I get all this done today, because trust me, this quarter just took quite a bit of time. So I'm not too worried about the door bit. That's not going to take long. And I'll get some tape on there and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. So do you see how the tape is right on the edge there? And you see how I'm cutting it, and you're looking at the silver, the metal, it's getting wider and wider and wider. So I'm going to run my blade, cutoff wheel, along this tape line. Cut it. And then I'm going to tap it in with my hammer and see if I've got this, if the gap I'm after. And if I'm not, then I'll just splice her up a bit more. But I should have it there. It's pretty good. I use the tape line, just eyeball it. That's what I need to do. So I can't really set the camera up here to show you guys what's going on. We're kind of cramped in this area where the car is on this side. But I'm going to cut this next. That I can tell you right now. Kind of got the camera sitting here. I don't know if it'll work or not, if you can see what I'm doing. But anyway, we'll give it a whirl. Ah. Hammer. Let's see if we can find that. I'm going to be opening the door, so unfortunately I'm going to be blocked off here for a minute. The idea is to tap this in. And I don't know if you can see there or not, but I've cut it right on the tape line. There we go. Give me a sec. Slice here. Cutting her down a little further. Okay. A little dark in this corner, so sharp burr there. Watch your fingers. That's actually it. I'm happy with it. I don't know if this is going to show for you guys or not. Let me try. I don't know if you understand what I did here. I don't know. Like I say, it's bad lighting in this side. It's going to look all off to you guys because of the way the lighting, I got the light here. Anyway. Fucking light. Anyway, so we're looking at this line here. I'm running my finger down it. Get my finger. I'm running it down. It looks good. Looks the same. So now, if I open this door up, take the tape off, all I did was, like I said, you see the thickness of the splice I made. The wheel, sometimes if I think I need to go a bit thicker, what I do is I start grinding, right, and I'm cutting into it. Then I just slowly come back down with the wheel and move it over slightly. Like the wheel itself is going to grind some out. Then I've tapped this in till it lines up with this. And now this spot weld this all the way down. Boom. That's it. I will run a straight edge on here to make sure this is straight, because I didn't show that before. You know, when I'm filming this, I'm not a teacher. I forget half this stuff. I'm just doing my shit and I'm trying to grab the camera, and sometimes I skip steps that you guys don't see. But I put a straight edge on here, put a straight edge on. I can see it was out at the bottom. So I'll put a straight edge back on there. Kind of hard to hold a straight edge on the camera, and make sure that it is straight down. But I'm pretty certain after a while, when you've been doing things for so long, your eyes are your best straight edge ever. And I'm telling you right now, that is straight. Because before, this was kicking over. Now it's not. So now we're going to weld that up after we straight edge it. Anyway, hopefully you get the idea of what I did there. And I'm happy. If I'm happy, that's all that matters. If you're happy, that's all that matters too. Okay, so here we go. She's all welded up. Stitched right up, don't even know. And I see there's some welds here I didn't grind down from before. I don't know how that happened, but anyway. So now we're gonna grind these welds down, and that's it. Taken care of. Nice straight door gap. Looks beautiful, I'm happy. So yeah, that's been a good half of the day right here gone. I think it's almost lunchtime. Well, it's past lunchtime, but it's lunchtime for me to go eat. So I'm gonna grind that down and know I got this much done and go have some lunch, take a break for an hour, and then well, see how much time we got left, see if we can attempt to get something done in the chunk. I'm sure we'll get a little bit taken care of. It's going to be a nice car when it's done. It's going to be fun. Can't wait. So we're back from lunch, guys, and we're working on this side of the floor. We're going to try and get this all welded in, and then if we're lucky, we'll have some more time and we can continue on with the other corner up in here. But I'll try and get this welded in anyway. Like I say, over half the day's over, but that's okay. Always remember, something's better than nothing. there. Slowly. Top half all welded up. Bottom here is still got to weld up over in there. But we are slowly getting there. Guaranteed this side we will get done today. Very happy with it. I like to grind a bit, and then because I'm in a concealed area here, well, concealed, not really concealed, but you know what I mean, then I like to blow it out. So that's why I stopped. I could have kept grinding, but I just want to blow it out. This shit flows all over the place, gets in your eyes. You never know. Anyway, but I think we are making good progress today. Okay, we got one side done. It's all finished up in there. Looking good. Like I say, you can see the gap along here, but that's where'd it go? There's supposed to be a gap because these pieces go up in there, and they have a rubber that goes on there, and it kind of pushes up against the quarter panel to stop the panel from pushing in. So they're going to go up in that corner, and that is exactly why you've got this gap here. Now I've got it a little bigger here. I cut this metal wrong. You can see, like there's a gap here. This should have been level with that. I could tack a piece in there, but like I said, I'm not worried about it because the rubber is as wide, it's an inch wide, so it's going to sit over it anyway. So I'm not too concerned. That's it. So we'll get on to the other corner here, depending on our time. But we are not going to get to that today. I know that already. All right. That side is all finished up, like I said. And you didn't see it, but I finished this side too. I got her done. So what I did here, if you remember, this piece, if you go back in the video, you watch it, this piece here where it's sloping down actually faced straight up. Because remember, I told you, this pan, when you buy it, it says for 49 to 51 Ford. But it's actually taken off a 51 Ford, which has a different chunk pan than a 4950. So you have to adapt it a little bit. You have to change it here and there. Like for an example, this floor normally was all even here. I had to make this piece and bend it down to line up with this pan. Over here, the pan, this piece here that you see sloping down came straight out, and there was a big gap here. So what I did was I spliced it here, bent it down so it lined up with my floor. That's it. Rust repair's done in the corner there. We got our pieces wherever they went. They go over top of there. They're writing over there on the bench. So that is done. Holy shit. What do you think? We got a quarter panel welded up today. We got a door gap cut and evened out. We got a trunk pan finished off on this side and this side. And I think I'm going to attempt it. I got like a half hour or so left here. I'm going to see if I can't at least cut this piece of metal and get it ready for there. And I have to run a bead roll through it right here. As you can see, the rest of it's flat. So that might be a two-person job because my bead roller is just sitting on the ground loosely right now. I plan on mounting it on a semi-rim, which I never did happen to do because there's always someone here to help you to stand on it. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. At least if I can cut that, that'll be perfect. And remember, when you're going to cut this out and you take this measurement, you're going to run a bead roll through it. Make it a little wider because when you dip that in, that floor is going to, or that piece, whatever you're fabricating, is going to shorten up, right? Anyway, I'm happy. I'm so happy that that's all done in there. Solid as a rock. Beautiful. You can already, it's solid. Once we get this piece in there, hell yeah. We're moving today. Not bad. Must have been that holiday I took. Must have what's the word I'm looking for? Don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but it must have put some spunk in my trunk, maybe. you guessed it, I got the piece made, and I'm just tacking her in. That's all you get for now. Okay, well, it is quitting time, right on the mark. It's my my 7-hour day, which I can say there's an hour for probably setting up camera and having lunch, so a 6-hour day. And I got this piece made, and I started tacking it in. I got the line there, all done in there. It's not quite as wide as this line, but it's pretty close. But the thing is that the only reason that edge is in there, whatever you want to call it, it's just a bead roll. And what that does is stops the floor from oil canning. If this was a flat surface and you didn't have any of these well, bead rolls in there, I guess there's another name for it, but whatever, it would just oil can all day long. So mine's a little bit off. It's like I say, it's lined up, but it's just a little bit narrower than that one. But whatever, there's no movement there. So that's good. So we got to finish stitching it up there, down here. Yeah, there's still at least another half hour there, welding and grinding, if not more. But look at that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Then I'll clean the trunk up inside. And like you see this old factory undercoating, I'm not taking it off. Like that's how they were in these old shoe boxes. And it's not flaking off. Like I'm leaving it. I'm just gonna spray right over this, put a factory mat in here, put a fucking spare tire in here, put a toolbox back there, put another little box somewhere with some fucking oil and shit in it and antifreeze, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to the trouble to strip every piece of undercoating off and paint it all up so it looks just as good as it does outside, you know, inside as it does outside. I'm not doing that. I'm leaving it basically like it is. That's just what it is. That is going to long outlive me and probably at least half the life of the next guy if he's a young guy. So, and it's a trunk. It's just a trunk. And at the end of the day, if I want to get carried away, I could just upholster the whole trunk and make it look gorgeous, and who gives a shit what it looks like underneath. That's all they did back then, folks. Hate to tell you, but all these show cars in the 50s and 60s, they were beautiful for what they had to work with back then, but they weren't what people build them to be today. And if they were like that, there was only very few of them. Because these guys were working stiffs like you and I that were building them, and they also were using them to drive every day. And Carried Away, sitting right out there, is a prime example. When Cord Elliott had it, he said straight up, he put studded snow tires on that son of a bitch and drove it in the winter. That's just what they were. Okay, folks, that's kind of it for today. It's actually 5:30, but everything's cleaned up and put away, so stayed out here a little longer than we thought. Me, dinner's always around 6:30 on a Sunday night, so I got to keep the wife happy, got to be in on time. She lets me do what I want, spend what I want, buy what I want, so the least I can do is show up for dinner on time. Anyway, so we got lots done today. Like I said, we got the quarter being finished welded on, we got the door gap cut so it's looking beautiful. We finished off welding up in this corner and got all that done. We got this corner all finished and done, and we got the patch made. And it's solid. So you can see we got to finish off some welding around there. And really, honestly, after that, I'm trying to think, but we've done everything. Quarters are done, trunks done. I mean, it's just done. There's no, let me see here. There's no rust on the inside the trunk lip. I've already felt it. There's none going on the outside. So we got a trunk lid with a, I know there's a dent somewhere in it. Where is it? Right up in here there's a bit of a dent. There's one more somewhere here. Right here. Trick, when you're feeling bodywork, doing anything, don't look at it. Honestly. I want you to try something next time you're doing your bodywork. If you run your hand down it and you're watching your hand, you feel stuff, but seriously, close your eyes. Close your eyes and walk. You feel so much more. You know, you just do. Or you can sometimes what people have done is they'll use a like a paper towel and they'll lay that down and run their hand on it and feel it. I don't know. Guess it depends on how rough your hands are. Mine are. I got no fingerprints left because I never wear gloves, so my fingers are all burnt, but I can feel the dings and dents. But anyway, trunk lid is good. Back pan's done. I think we looked at these doors once before on a past video, and we got a rust hole coming right there. The passenger side door I know is mint, so we're done. We are done basically next Sunday. And yes, there will be a fun day Sunday. Next Sunday, all we got left is to finish up that chunk, and maybe we'll attack that door if we can while it's on the car. If not, I can take it off. We've had them off before. I always say we because I know you guys are all out there following along watching, and I appreciate that. Really do. Tell your friends. Tell everyone you want. Come watch YouTube. Come watch Old Time Garage. But that's done. So, little hint. I mentioned it, and here's what got me going today. Must have been that long time gone away drinking alcohol, and I got to come home to a Coca-Cola. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to keep the handles. I think I'm going to lose the handles. Now, what I'm thinking about doing is, yeah, we got a little Elvis going in the background there. We should be turning it down, or else they're going to be. Here, let's turn it down, or else sometimes YouTube they get all fucking antsy over music in the background going, and they're like, oh, well, you don't have the rights to that. But anyway, whatever. If we come in here, we know. This is just, you guys have seen around my shop in past videos, but you've never seen everything I have. But anyway, in this cabinet, we have, some of you should have spotted them already if you're paying attention. We have some 47 to 48. These are Lincoln. These came in Lincoln cars. Now these things, you know, back in the day, I'm talking 20 years, no, not 20 years ago, that would be a lie. I'm going to say 10 to 15 years ago, you'd go to an automotive swap meet, and if you found a good set, you'd pay 150, 200 bucks. I see these things now go for 600. So long before the 47 Lincoln, long before King Dig Shit, or whatever his name is there, and all those guys that made flush mount handles, Lincoln had a handle that you just pushed a button. So, this would go, seriously, loose the handle, weld the hole, this would go right there. And you've all seen these done on these Fords before. So it would sit in there, you just have this ridge, and you've got a little set screw. So you're going to make sure that set screw is going to go this way. Which is going to work out fine because this handle has got a set screw. So I'm hoping, I don't know, well, no, it looks like it's going to be in a different spot. But either way, that pushes. Well, guess what? That's what that does, is push. Lose the locks. Put a set of those in. Look pretty good. I think. I like it. It's got that Art Deco look. And that's what gets me thinking maybe. And I just thought of this as I was holding this. Let's take a look here. See, it's I think about everything. Whether you believe me or not, I live for back in the day, and I'm looking at this, and what I'm getting off on right now is, you see how it's got the lines, the Art Deco look? Remember I was thinking about maybe losing this? Well, look how this has got lines in it. It's almost like the two of those, are just meant to stay together. But again, I don't know, because I might run a bumper with a riser, but everybody puts the riser on the back bumper. Might be nicer just that clean, smooth bumper. But then again, this thing does stick out quite a bit. Something to think about. God, I just had another idea. License plate brackets right there. So that tells me there's the bolts right there. It tells me where my plate goes. I like to do weird and odd shit. Now, I don't know if it would look good or not. I don't know. I've got a couple of these up back. If I do use this, what I might try also, what would happen if I shorten this up? What if that came down more like that? Not right on the edge of this. What if it came down like just an inch away rather than like 3 inches, I'm guessing, away? What if I shortened it up? No one would know. Somebody who has these cars would be like, what's with that? Is there something different there? I like subtle changes. I like everything subtle. That's why I like this car so much, because the chop on this thing is very subtle. It's not drastic. I like that. I don't know. Just me. We all like a nasty chop, and when I mean nasty, I mean like low. But when I see them ones that are chopped real low, you know what I think about? I think about salt flat cars and that. I don't know. I don't really think like custom. I just when a car rolls in and it's had 5 or 6 inches chopped out of it, the first thing you notice is a chop, and you're like, oh, look at the chop on that car. And I've said this over and over again in videos, and that's not for me. Because the first thing you just said was, look at the chop in that car. Rather than, you didn't see the whole car, you just saw the chop. That's all that stood out. Then you start looking at the rest of the car. Well, I like it when a car rolls in, it's just like, whoa, look at that car. It's been chopped, it's been Frenched, it's been nosed, it's been decked. Just me, just a thought. But that's why we're all allowed to entitled to our own opinion and our own thoughts, and that's what makes customizing so fun. So on that thought, I'm going to leave you all, and I will see you during the week for an update of what the hell is going on in the shop. It's Remembrance Day for us, so tomorrow's a holiday, even though I don't work Mondays anyway. I guess that must mean I should take Tuesday off, but I won't. See you later.